Hi, welcome back. I'm Blaise Hope at the World Economic Forum with Narongchai, Thailand's energy minister. Renewable energy.
Yes.
What's the picture with that?
Well, you have to separate renewable into two sectors, power production, electricity production, their renewable alternative.
Yeah.
People refer to hydro, which is traditional, maybe not so interesting. But now we have more and more power from solar. Luckily, we have some sun in the country, so the capacity is reaching like 3,000 megawatts of solar. We try to do wind, but we are not such a windy country. Apart from that, we do biomass and biogas and so on. These are considered renewable. This sector is growing, and we would like to see more. But the problem is that in order to give them incentive, we have to buy at higher prices for their production. And when you calculate that into the average cost, the people have to pay for it. So we balance. We try to use as much as the public would accept. Mm-hmm. So in energy, apart from availability, you have to make it affordable. If you use too much renewable, maybe not affordable. That's the electricity. At the same time, very similar story from oil and gas. We like to use more ethanol. We like to use more biofuel. But when the oil price is high, the cost of biofuel relatively not too high. But at the moment, you see, when the oil price has come down, and then the price of ethanol, price of bio things, almost double the price of fossil or crude oil. So people, when they say they love nature, but when it comes to paying for it, they say they love their money more than nature. So we have to balance that also. Meaning we support it, but not to the extreme.
Thailand has a lot of palm oil.
Yes, well, a lot, yeah, well,
a reasonable amount.
relatively.
But there's only a 5% requirement for fuel. Are there any plans to raise that?
Varies. Actually, we move between 3 to 7, depending upon availability of palm oil at different time. At the moment, it's 7% because it's a season for new palm oil production. 2 months ago, it came down to 3% because there was no supply.
Would you?
And that is the maximum we can go, because the diesel engine, if you use more than 7%, we do not have a diesel engine to accommodate.
Well, what do you think of the plans to raise it to 15%?
I don't think so.
Here, they're planning that. Do you think that the
well, if they can pay for it, up to them. If they can, it's their choice.
So, where's the emphasis in terms of palm oil, just for food versus energy?
Everything is still food. And we don't have that much. Relative to Indonesia, or Malaysia, we are small.
Are you concerned about over-reliance on hydrocarbons?
It's like this, you see, in the motor vehicle sector, we use diesel, we use benzene mixture with ethanol, diesel mixture with bio. But the efficiency of the engine is getting better and better all the time. And now, yes, we are concerned. So our tax system, we are developing a new excise tax system that would favor the less use of hydrocarbon. And this is to get ourselves ready for electric car in the near future, or hybrid, electric plus internal combustion engine, which saves a lot of oil and gas.
So what are the biggest drives in renewable energy?
The renewable, if you talk about electricity, the biggest drive at the moment is the cost of solar, energy produced from solar. The cost has come down substantially. So that particular technology is likely to be used more and more.
And do you?
And another drive is that we are urbanizing very quickly. And like any other country, when you become urbanized, you have more and more waste. So we try to use power production, as a solution for waste management. That's another drive. But the rest, it's not just natural development. If cost is competitive, they can do it. We give a little bit of subsidy, but not much.
So hydro, for example.
Hydro we don't have in the country. You see, our geography, Thailand is pretty flat. If you've been there, you know it's pretty flat. Hydro we do in Lao PDR if Lao PDR allow us to do it. But Lao PDR, they may allow any other investor to produce, to invest and to produce in Lao PDR. But we are the natural customer for hydropower from Lao PDR.
Nice and close. So moving on to the ASEAN.
Yes.
The ASEAN power grid.
Yes.
How important is that to Thailand's energy plans?
In terms of bilateral, very important. Now we have grid with Lao PDR, about to have grid with Myanmar, have grid with Cambodia. So in immediate next door neighbor, bilateral, yes. But when it comes to cross-border, cross-country, this is being developed. The reason is because the Lao PDR at the moment, and later on maybe China and Myanmar, they are likely to have excess capacity, more than Thailand can buy. So they would like to sell to countries beyond Thailand, and that will become the cross-border, cross-country power grid. And when that happens, then we realize it's so-called ASEAN power grid on the mainland. At the moment, Lao PDR is talking about making that available down to Malaysia and Singapore, going through Thailand, and the regime is being structured to make that possible.
Well, with the coming of the AEC,
Yes.
ASEAN Economic Community, what opportunities do you see there?
Well, in the power sector, it's pretty liberal already, with or without AEC. The benefit would be indirect, because we expect that AEC would allow countries to grow faster. And if that's the case, then they will need more power, they will need more energy, more oil and gas, and therefore leading to bigger trade in energy.
What would you suggest should be the concerns for a smaller country, one of your neighbors? What are the things that you'd like to see come from greater integration with the power grid?
Well, actually, in terms of power, our next door neighbor, they have lots of power. They are power surplus countries, so they welcome any opening. They welcome more buying, from us. Cambodia at the moment still does not have that excess capacity yet, and they would like to buy from Thailand. And if we buy from Lao PDR and selling to them like we do at the moment, they welcome that. So in terms of mainland Southeast Asia, we are helping each other extremely very well. But if you go over to maritime Southeast Asia like Indonesia, then interest is different. We have our oil and gas companies is very much interested in investing in Indonesia, already doing so, and working with Pertamina. I think we can expect to see more and more in the future.
Okay, well, we've got to go to break right now, but we'll be back in just a moment at the World Economic Forum with Narongchai, the Minister of Energy for Thailand.